All right, Mayfield Prep. Hey, Billy, Imperial Blaster Master. The guy's name is Mayfeld. Miggs Mayfeld, not Mayfield. Although I thought it was Mayfield for a while, too. What's up, Bill? Longtime listener and fan, and happy to see you crushing it with the acting. Thank you. Speaking of acting, for the scene with you, with Officer, you blasted for his decision that cost the lives of your character's brother in arms, did you do any research or talk to any vets? I asked because you fucking crushed it. Yes! Thank you. I wrote this email. Your delivery was fucking flawless. See, now these are the kind of compliments a married man needs to hear. There's a fucking great program. You know, perfect strangers come up and compliment a married man so he remembers what that sounds like. Anyway, he goes, I got chills watching the look you had and tone, and I could connect with that character. You nailed the sense of humor with no bullshit attitude, and we need to have to survive, not just in war, but back in the world. I'd love to see a spin-off centered around you and that character. Anyways, I really would like to know how you'd prep specifically for that scene if you could share. Thanks, and go fuck yourself, a retired Army vet, 2 Iraq and 1 Afghanistan. I guess he was 3 tours over there. Jesus Christ. How did I prepare for that? It was kind of all there on the page. I just read the scene, and I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be the shit. I knew it was going to be a great scene, and I knew that I was in there with great actors. And Rick Famuyiwa was directing it, so I was like, all right. How did I connect with pain. That's all I can tell you. So even though I didn't experience that specific pain, I am able to tap into other shit that happened to me, or the combination of that or just having empathy or something like that. I honestly don't know. I'm kind of afraid to pull it apart. But yeah, no, you know what it is you just bring it to a place where you can relate to it. So as much as that guy is playing, a commanding officer and anything, a commanding officer takes on many different forms. It's just a person that has power over you that was abusive. So you're able to sort of channel that into those words, I would say. Maybe that's what it was. And then also, the way it was written, the whole thing was just kind of there. But that's a really interesting question that I didn't, I know I just read the scene. I immediately understood it. And then I remember we were sort of blocking the scene. And I remember standing, looking over where I was going to be sitting. And I was already emotionally to the point I was like, all right, stop thinking about it. Or are you going to fucking do the scene before the scene happens? So, yeah, I would say it was something like that. I believe, yeah, something like that. And then after that, you're like, okay, now I can relate to this thing. Then you just make choices that aren't going to be obvious. Like I told you a few weeks ago when I was at that Green Bay Packer game and that kid was being an asshole. So one of my buddies from back Massachusetts just sat down next to him, moved me away from him. And the drunk guy looked at my buddy and he goes, why are you here? And he just looked at him. He had half a smile and he goes, why do you think I'm here? And I was just I just remember moments like that for acting where if you saw that on the page as an actor, you'd think you'd go, oh, that's a badass line. I got to deliver it like a badass. Like, why do you think I'm here? Which is, that's a way you could do it, but that's obvious and then it just sort of becomes cheesy. But the way he did it, where he kind of had a smile on his face, and almost turned it into a fatherly son relationship with, I'm not going to give you the answer, son, but I'll help you get there. And then he had a half a smile on his face that said, I don't care whether I win or lose. I just enjoy fighting was a whole other another level of intimidation. And his friends took that guy and moved him 2 seats down. I just sort of clock those things, stick it in the memory bank, and then when you come up with a scene like that, you have options so it won't be like hopefully stale. But that's an unbelievable thrill that you actually lived what I was pretending I lived, and you connected with it. So I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you made it back after 3 tours over there. Jesus.